Why? Hello, well, I guess I am now. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. First trading day of the week. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. So, do you want me to unplug it and plug it back in? All right. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to take it off. All right. So hopefully that'll fix it. Hopefully. Does that sound better? I've been saying something. How are you going to tell me to say something if sorry. Hi, Joey, by the way. You look great today. All right. All right. So, first trading day of the week. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. It was beautiful here in Charlotte this weekend. It was a great weekend. No rain. Feeling a lot like fall. So, there we go. Janice is here. Keith is here. Man, Skyper, Dave, Blaine. A lot of people here. That's a good thing to start the week off, right? Big move in the market today. All of the major indices, as you can see, are up. With the Dow leading the way, up 1.3. Yeah, 1.3%. Where is it? The S&P is pushing at 1%. The composite. Man, everything is up. Should you buy today? I guess that was the link today or the alert. Should you buy today? And we're going to take a look at that. I'm looking at the indicators like the MTI, the buy to sell ratio, not at the levels of looking for a bottom. I don't think we should have been looking for a bottom anyway. I know we've pulled back a little bit. But in a second, we're going to take a look at the market timing graph and see where the VVC is. And we are in an inside candle. Lee is right. If we look at the market timing, man, let's just go straight there. All right, let's get right to the meat and potatoes. Let's go to the program, and there it is. Lee is right. We are in an inside day, so it's a nice bounce to the day. Right now, today, Lee, if we were to close right now, we'd be exhibiting a bullish harami. Which is inside the big down day on Friday. If we're going to really think that the market's got legs to move to the upside, we've got to bypass this candle. We are inside a nice up day today, trading right at the session highs, no wick at the top of the candle, so the market's just steadily rising. We opened up at the bottom of the candle, nice open candle, no wick at the bottom. Eton, thank you for checking in from Israel. As far as stocks, we're going to take a look at stocks, but I'll let you know when we are going to be looking at it. I'm going to give you a lot of stocks. Bill says Palantir, yay. Palantir made it onto the S&P 500. Last time I looked, it was up about 10%. I'm still in it. I took a hit in Palantir, but I still am holding it. So I'm getting a little reprieve today. Loving it. I'm still holding my NVDL, a little bounce today, but man, if the market really wants to run to the upside, I'm really thinking that NVIDIA's got to take off at some point in time. Palantir just under $35 right now. GME is up $25 today. They've got earnings coming out this week. I'm not a big fan of meme stocks, whether it be GME, whether it be AMC, or any of the meme type stocks. But you know something, if GME is making money going into earnings, it should bode well for the stock's price to move up a little bit more. So it is what it is. But I do know why GME is moving up. Palantir is up over 13%. Like I said, the last time I looked, it was up over 10%. I am happy with the trade. Still, even though I took a hit, I still think that Palantir is one of the most undervalued plays, even though it's not undervalued by way of VectorVest, but just by way of what the stock does, what the company does. Man, you guys have heard me talk about Palantir a lot. It's been tough, so I like the day today. All right, so as we look at the market timing graph, nice up day today. Is it time to buy? I am with Lee in order to say that the market does have legs. Beautiful level of support right here on the composite sitting at 67.17. Beautiful level of support, touched a couple of times, a level of resistance, support. I would really like to see if we can outmaneuver the Friday big down day. Cost averaging on NVIDIA. W.A. Brown. All right. Let me address dollar cost averaging. All right. How many people in the room believe it's okay to dollar cost average? Type a 1. How many of you don't believe in dollar cost averaging? Type a 2. All right. And now I am going to chime in on dollar cost averaging. One of the biggest things that Dr. DeLito, the founder of VectorVest, taught us was you should never dollar cost average. Why? Because you're putting bad money behind good money. All right? Now, there's another side to the response to that question. There's a lot of people out there that love to do dollar cost averaging. There's a lot of people who have made a lot of money off of dollar cost averaging. I want you to ask yourself this question. If you've ever made money off of dollar cost averaging, was it on money you could afford to lose? Type a yes or a no. For those people who have done well with dollar cost averaging, was it on money that you could afford to lose? Type a yes or type a no. Now, the reason why I ask that question is the majority of the people who think that it's okay to dollar cost average are the people who are trying to make big gains in a stock that they think is going to come back over time. And what you do at some point in time is you blow up your portfolio. For everybody who's in the field of thinking that dollar cost averaging is the way to go, look at the chat. The majority of the people who do or who are profitable in dollar cost averaging tends to be people who are doing it on money that they can afford to lose. If you are trying to do this with money that you cannot lose, I would never suggest dollar cost averaging. Thank you for that question, but it's something that needs to be addressed because a lot of people think that, I got this small portfolio and I followed this guy who's dollar cost average and he's made a lot of money. Again, it's normally done with money that you can afford to lose, not on money that you cannot lose. So I want to put that out there for anybody who is looking for my opinion on dollar cost averaging and understanding why I will never do it unless it's on money put to the side that I can afford to hold long term. All right, so Jesse says Lunar made up the loss and made 22%. I liked Lunar as a feel-good play. It's just been a tough stock to play. I talked about it before they put the lunar lander on the moon, and then it fell over, fall down, go boom. I think I think space is becoming a hot play. You look at SpaceX, you look at Lunar. There's a couple of other stocks that are out there that play the space, that play the space, that play the space arena. I think that it's coming more into light of a good positive play. So Lunar, from that perspective, it's just been a tough play. What if only you do it on high RS stocks? As far as dollar cost averaging, I still wouldn't do it, Richard. I still wouldn't do it. That is my opinion, in that why try to dollar cost average on a stock and you don't know how low is, when I could rather put my money into a stock that's currently doing what I need to do. That's the way I look at it. All right, that's what I look at. Rocket Labs is, RKLB is another one. All right, so I just put that out there in regards to dollar cost average. That was a great question. And I think that as a channel, we need to talk about that a little bit more. Thank you, Joey. Share the link. We don't have a ton of people here today. Not sure why. I don't know if our alert went out today. Hopefully it did. But we've got a lesser amount of people that we normally have. So take a moment real quick if you can. Share the link. Get more people here. Glenn, can you please explain the inside versus outside candle and what that means? So inside candle, that was the day's move on Friday, right here. Today's move is still within the confines of the actual day move on Friday, which means it didn't go lower than Friday. That's a positive sign. But it didn't go higher than Friday, which is not altogether a positive sign, but it's not a bad sign. All right, so that's what inside day means, that we got a nice rebound today. A lot of people will call this a dead cat bounce. Could be. But and for me, you know, when I've got a down day, I want to see the candle go back up and bypass the prior day. That shows an uptrend. You know, when I've got a candle like this, I've got a downtrend. Am I still in the downtrend overall? Absolutely. But to get out of the downtrend, I need to start showing some move up from the low. Who asked me that question? Blaine, does that make sense? So it's a nice up day today. Dead cat bounce, maybe. I need more confirmation for tomorrow's move. What's up, JD? Someone broke the alert. Bad. No, someone, I don't know. We got 155 people here. Hopefully you guys are sharing it, and I appreciate that. Many folks have great 401k balances due to the monthly dollar cost averaging. Dave says, I'm not dollar cost. I don't know if my 401k is doing that. I don't know. Well, they're in funds that, you know, they're in mutual funds. I don't know if they dollar cost averaging. So I cannot say yay or nay to that. I cannot say yay or nay to that. All right. Hello, VV Nation. Hello, Uncle Glenn. Hello, Amir. All right, let's get into some news that's moving today's market. And this is a big story starting off right here. The Fed, look at this. Anybody else heard this? The Fed projected to cut interest rates by 125 basis points. Yikes, that's a lot. And then what did I say? What did I say last week? When the Fed starts cutting interest rates, what does the average investor look at it as? As a sign of panic. If he cuts 125 basis points, that's like opening the floodgates to say, yo, we came super late to the party. The economy is screwed. And so I don't know. I can't see that. I still, up until now, still didn't see that we were going to still get 3 rate cuts this year. I didn't see it. Not based on, you know, does anybody know what the average unemployment rate is? I'm curious. Can anybody give me a number? What is the average, I can't spell, average unemployment rate? Anybody know? Let's Google it. 8% says Jerry. Unemployment, let's go see. 4.2 says Akshaya. Average unemployment. This is not telling me what I want to know. What's the average? I want to know what the average, not what the Bureau of Statistics say. So what I want. Does anybody know what 4.3, 0.4, 0.5? If that is the case, Jerry says 8. That's a lot. That is a lot. Not always panic. 125 equals panic. I agree. 125 equals panic. I'm really curious. Unemployment rates, regional, no, unemployment rates. What is the average? I don't think anybody wants, I don't think anybody really knows. That's in the room. So I'm curious. And if it's at 4.2, 4.3, we're right in the range. And if we're right in the range, U.S. unemployment, that's 3 days ago. 4.2 compared to 4.3 last month, 3.8 last year. This is lower among the, there it is. The average, the long-term average of 5.69. And if jobs is coming into fruition as to what the Fed is looking for to cut rates, we're in the margin. And if we're in the margin, why do we have to cut rates? A lot of people are going to say because of housing, because housing is inflationary. It was oil, but housing is inflationary. I am still of the mindset that the economy can still hold on to where we are without a rate cut. But that's it. Glenn, how will the market react if the rate cut is only 25 basis points? Is a 50 basis point cut baked into the market? I think what's baked into the market, Ramor, is 25. All right. I think that 25 basis point is what's expected. And Mac Daddy says, trying to save the election. You know me, I'm not going to get into that. I think that this is not an average normal election year. And I still am on the mindset that I don't think that we need a rate cut. Lee says 25% is 25 basis point is good news. 50, and if 50 is bad, if he's thinking about, if that story is correct about 125 basis point, that's super bad. That rings the bell. That rings the bell that we're in panic mode. All right. So Richard says, I heard several years ago that the Fed considers 5% unemployment to be equivalent to full employment. We ain't there then. See. Again, all of this proves my point that we don't need a rate cut just yet. But I'm not the guy. I'm just the guy. High rate prevents growth. It will affect GDP. You need natural rate to spur growth with moderate inflation. Otherwise, it will be stagflation. So what will happen is, Akshay, as soon as we start, so we do know that the cutting of the rates is a boost to the economy, right? That's what it's for. A boost to the economy, people have more money. People have more money, people spend more money. People spend more money, inflation still is an issue. That's just the natural order of things. I think inflation is still a problem. It's cooling. Inflation is cooling. Prices are not going down. But inflation cooling, inflation is just not going higher. But, you know, have you seen that prices haven't continued to go up, but they're still high. You know, they're still high. We'll see. All right, I didn't make money in my 401k dollar cost averaging. I ain't doing that. I just let my stuff do. That's why I have self-directed and my regular 401k. All right, let's move on to some other news. Stocks are making the news. Boeing, crypto-exposed stocks. Savra surge pre-market. So Boeing went up because they settled a strike thing. Agreed to pay 25% more for its biggest union, possibly averting a damaging strike that threatens to heap further pressure on the embattled plane maker. Ryan did a short last week about strikes that are getting ready to happen. That video got 10,000 views. If you haven't watched that short yet, please do, because it definitely could affect the market in an adverse way, in a big adverse way, especially when it comes to the fact that we're trying to get our stuff, so it can mess up the supply chain. Watch that video. Crypto-related stocks: Coinbase, CleanSpark, and Marathon advanced prior to the opening bell. Bitcoin, well-known digital, gained on Monday, extending its drive higher to a third consecutive day. Before I start looking at the crypto stocks, I need for Bitcoin to get back above 60,000. That's what I need. Palantir and Dell both climbed on the news that both firms will be joining the benchmark S&P 500. Yay! Savra surged following the release of data from its late-stage trial. Drug developers investigative treatment for patients suffering from rare lung disease. Summit Therapeutics spiked up, another drug company, after the company unveiled fresh data showing its two lung cancers drugs out there, Summit and Savra. And another pharmaceutical rose after it announced an experimental oral obesity drug, Turn 601. I got to write down the other two because they weren't in my list. Summit and Savra. I think Savra's already in it, but I didn't think I put Summit in there. Those might be some good drug stocks to keep your eyes on. Big Lots files for bankruptcy. I hadn't seen that story. That would be big. I hadn't seen that story. Oracle Ports, yes, that's in my earnings story. All right, Dell is doing all right today, like Palantir, says Pennywise. All right, another story. Yahweh, I don't know how to say it the right way. Yahweh, whatever, racks up 3 million pre-orders for the trifold phone. Who wants to look at a trifold phone? Where is it? It's on another story, I think. A trifold phone. They got 3 million pre-orders for that before Apple's iPhone 16 reveal. Yahweh is going after Apple big. Big. Here it is. Palantir, another Palantir story. Palantir and BP inked a pact for new AI capabilities, which I think is good. The companies noted that Palantir's AIP software will assist BP to safely and reliably harness large language models for LLMs to improve and accelerate human decision making. I don't know how I feel about that. Accelerate human decision. Well, no. Get the data so the humans can make, so we can make better decisions. Okay, never mind. With suggested courses of action based on automated analysis of underlying data. Never mind. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Go Team Android. Psh, whatever. All you people on the dark side with Android. You think Apple will rise or drop after the show today? I think it's going to rise. I think it's going to rise based upon what they say, and a lot of it is going to still be all the generative AI capabilities into the new phone. I think that will push the phone. That will push the stock higher, I think. Yahweh, I think, is just trying to beat them to the punch. And they're doing a dog and pony show, my opinion, with the trifold phone. Who wants a trifold phone? How many of you are going to go buy a trifold phone? Type of 1 in the room. That's just more spots for the phone to break, in my opinion. There's more spots for the phone to break. Trifold phone. Joey, you going to go get you a trifold phone? I know you're not. I know you like me. You got Apple, but I'm not going to. Huh? No, I don't want that either. I'm not. Welcome to the dark side. Nah, y'all on the dark side. Y'all on the dark side. I'm waiting for the quad. Wow, Michael's good. Really, Michael? I got to get my Stream Deck going back because I have a laugh for that. All right, next story. Here's EV story. Workhorse receives FedEx order for 15 of these W56 vans. All right. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. I think that the EVs will probably do better right now supplying vans than they are supplying EVs for the public. I think the EV space is kind of shaky right now because manufacturers are having a hard time selling EVs. But if these companies like Lucid and Workhorse and everybody else can get orders for work vans that are electric, FedEx is driving around in their vans, the Rivian vans. Every time I asked one of the Amazon folks when they come stop by my house 17 times a day because my wife orders stuff all the time, they don't like them. One of the drivers says, my phone has more charge than this van. I was like, wow. All right, so interesting. But I think that if you are an EV, going after the commercial space might be the way for them to get around the slowdown in the non-commercial vehicles for the people who are just driving around. It'd be interesting. What did Remorse say? Remorse says, you could be right. I wonder how well Yahweh tested their phone. I wonder how long the folds will last. I just think you got 3 folds. Something, I don't mind the idea of a folding phone. A couple of people at work have on the dark side the Android phone that, with the fold serves as a phone and like a small tablet. And one of the people it was on this side of the building, actually on the other side of the building, is big on her phone. She loves it, and it can do this, it can do that, but it ain't an Apple. That's all I got to say about that. It ain't an Apple. Prakash says, Glenn, cutting the rate and welfare will help growth. I'm all about the growth part. But you know something? I can hold off on growth while inflation continues to get better. It's cooling, but it's still a problem. It's cooling, but it's still a problem. Ripman says Pixel 9 Fold is beautiful. Ryan just got his Pixel 9. He likes it. It's not a fold phone, though. It's not a fold phone. All right, so interesting in regards to the EV space. I think the commercial space probably is the better way for them to go while they get over the hump of not as many people buying into regular electric vehicles. All right, next one. Ooh, Taiwan Semi, U.S. plant matches Taiwan's production yields, stock gains. Ooh. So, you know Taiwan Semi's in Taiwan, but the U.S. plant matches what they're doing in Taiwan. That's going to be huge. I like the play. How about this? Cannabinoid treatment significantly reduces fibromyalgia, sort of like TNXP, which was big in that space. Fibromyalgia pain and improves quality of life. New Tilray, of course it was backed by Tilray, study finds. This could be a spark for weed stocks. Earnings was coming out, GameStop, Academy, not a lot of companies. You know, we're getting close to the end of the third quarter. The end of this month is the end of third quarter reporting. Wow, thank you, Danny. We got us a super chat. Type the ones in the room. Actually, I'm going to change it from ones to W for win. Type a W in the room for the super chat, please. Type a W in the room, which stands for win. That's a win. That's a win. Thank you very much. Danny, you need to give me a stock. Danny, you need to give me a stock so I can look at it right now. Janice, did you not hear me just say, type a W? Janice put it in. I'm waiting for Janice to come back and go, I quit. I go on strike. Don't go on strike, Janice. Don't go on strike. All right. But I like it better with the W for a big win. Thank you for that. All right. It's quick that I jumped on Janice quick, and Janice was probably like, today ain't the day. I could picture Janice one day going, today ain't the day, and I'll back off in a heartbeat. I'd be like, I got you. Danny, I need a stock, though. I need a stock. Get me a stock, so I'll take a look at it right now for you. And that was, I typed one, then I know Janice is like, calm down. Calm down, Glenn. I got this. I know Janice. All right, Danny's going to give me a stock. When he does, we'll take a look at it. All right? Thank you very much. For those of you who are wondering what that was, that is a super chat. It's sort of like giving us a tip. It doesn't go to either me or Joey. AX, there you go, Danny. It's like a tip. It's a way of, it's an appreciation, a thing of appreciation to say thank you. That's all. It is not a necessity, folks. It's not a necessity. All right, it's not a necessity. And, you know, I'm going to look at your stocks anyway. But, Danny, the stock is AX. Let's go peep that out right now. Let's go look at AX. All right. Axos Financial. What is this on? 3 month? Let's go put this on a 1-year graph. All right, let's put this on a 1-year graph. Bottom left, top right, a little bit of a pullback. Danny, if you're holding the stock right now, I like the earnings per share. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. I like the earnings per share, but I don't like the pullback. I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand that if you own it, I would consider taking some off the table, or all of it. Right here, I'm going to give you a price of $61.44. $61.44. Coming off this high, 2 gaps. That's really bearish. A gap down that wasn't filled, another gap down that almost started to get filled but not get filled, and still pulling back off of this level of resistance. Actually, that gap did get filled, right? That gap did get filled. And I'm going to say right now it's in a channel, but if it falls below that level of 61.44, I probably would take it off the table and wait for another buying opportunity. Danny, does that make sense? I don't like it's down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. This should serve as a beautiful level of support. If it bounces, leave it alone. All right, if you own it. But if it falls below there, I probably would not want to hold it right now. I do like the move on the year, though. On the year, bottom left, top right, rising earnings. Long term, you see relative value. It's a fundamentally sound stock. Relative value, relative safety, both above 1. VST are above 1. That's my hard line in the sand. That's my hard line in the sand. Long term, I like it. But, you know, I could like a stock. If it's not doing what I want it to do, though, I probably have to reconsider and wait for another buying opportunity. All right? That's what I see on that stock. All right. Thank you for that, Danny. I appreciate that big time. I appreciate that. Long-term good stock. Ramor is right. Long-term good stock. But I'm looking at price action. Price action is not fitting the role of what I'm looking for. I'd rather wait for a better opportunity if it breaks below that level of support. All right, let's go see what the markets are doing. All of the markets are up. Look at that. The only indice that's not at 1% or more today is the IWM, but it's close. Nice update today. Again, in regards to, do I buy yet? I want to see, I'm with you, Lee. I'm going to back this up 110%. I really need to get out of that inside day, or else this might be a little bit of a dead cat bounce. All right, this may be a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Be careful. Let's wait to see what happens if we get confirmation. Now, if you see a stock, because I'm going to give you some stocks today. If you see a stock that you like, I would not aggressively go full bore. I'd dip my toe in the water in it. Your defense is doing good today. Yes, I'm happy with it. Prakash says, what were you saying, Prakash? Prakash was being sarcastic about something. I don't know. I got a little bit beat in that, but it's right rebounded. Wow! Holy smokes! Ross just gave us $50. $50. Put double W's in there. Holy smokes. Ross, thank you tremendously for that. A $50 super chat. Good. Googly muggly. And for that, I think I'm going to look at 2 or 3 of your stocks, Ross. You put them in the room. For a $50 super chat, you can put 2 or 3 stocks and I will look at them right here, right now. Oh, that's big for us. That is big for us. Thank you so much for that. Wow, that is, woo. Make me, I'm blushing a little bit. It's hard for me to do, but I'm blushing a little bit. That was huge. Ross, you put 2 or 3 stocks in there. I will look at them right now. I will look at them right now. And Jerry's right. Hit that like button. Defense stopped out on me last week, but it's still a profitable. Hold on. I need Ross. Ross, there he goes. Let's go take a look at these 3 stocks right now. Ross, you deserve this. SN Sundial, a weed stock. ZTS and Generac. All right, let's go see what I got for you, Ross. Put this on a 1-year graph. Woo, Sundial, weed stock. Be careful with this. I can definitely see that I'm a little bit of a channel. Oof. Earnings is negative, but getting less negative. That's a positive sign. It's negative, but getting less negative. It is undervalued, which I like. Nice update today. That's a good sign if you're in it. All right. If you're in it aggressively like now, I'm going to give you 2 points of egress. I'm going to draw a trend line. All right. There's a trend line. If it falls below the trend line, you need to get out of it. All right? You need to get get out of it and wait for a bounce to go back up. Number 2, it is moving towards the level of resistance. Keep in mind, it's trading at 215. It's got a level of resistance at 235. I'd really like to see if we can take that out. I do like the RT just went back above 1, so it's in an uptrend, but it's done that a couple of times. Notice that? Just be careful with this stock. This is my point to get out of it. If you're really in the channel, this is my definite line in the sand at $1.81. All right, let's go to the next stock. Put this on a 1-year graph. I like the move up. It is overvalued. Love the rising earnings per share. RT is above 1. Ooh, I got a trend line. Look at that. Broke below, now back above. All right, I'm just connecting the lows here. Broke below, now back above. If you're in it, I'd leave it alone. But you're going to catch headwinds at this level of resistance right about here. You're going to catch headwinds at $200.26. You got some money you can still make on it. But if it pulls back and breaks below that level of support, I'd probably take my profits off the table. Diego's tuning in from Brazil. Howdy. All right. And your last stock, Ross, Generac. I like this as a hurricane stock, We haven't had a lot of hurricanes. I don't think we're having as many hurricanes as we thought we were going to have this year. I do have a solid level of resistance at 159.83. I got a level of support sitting at 131.96. You know something, I would probably put a moving average on it, or better yet, look at this, just looking at support and resistance. I'm sorry, look at that trend line. See that trend line? That probably would have been a good point to get out of it. See that right there? That would have been a good point to get out of it, Ross. But if you're not, I'm going to hold on to this level of 131.96 since it's in the channel. But I want you guys to start to get to learning. Look at this, bouncing off support, nice upward trend, right to a level of resistance and pull back. Learn to use support, resistance, and trend lines. Ross, that would have been a good spot to get out right there when it broke below. But if you're still in it, that's your hard line in the sand. I do like the rising earnings. Way to go. Wow, a $50 super chat. Ross, was that what you were looking for, my friend? For $50, I want to make sure I didn't fall short of your expectations at all on analyzing those stocks. Whoo-wee. That was huge. Thank you so much for that, Ross. You're heading to the correct. There's a storm coming. I think there's not as many storms as I thought we were going to get from a hurricane perspective. Generac I like, Enphase I like. I got a whole watch list or a whole portfolio of hurricane stocks. Glenn, Intel, cut, and welfare. Intel, what are you talking about, Prakash? Not yet, Chad. I am going to look at your stocks. But the super chats get that a privilege of me looking at their stocks right then and there, Chad. Now, I'm not telling you, Chad, to send me a super chat. Not at all. But I will get to look at other stocks before we get gone today, Chad. I got you. All right, we just hit a peak week, so we have plenty of time for more hurricanes this year. Oh. Okay, we'll see. Talking about that, let's go look at that. I do have a portfolio. I told you I did. EFGH, where is it? Ryan's, Mega, GLP. Where are my hurricane stocks? Decade stocks. Damn, I swore I had me. Didn't I have a hurricane stocks? Oh, maybe it's a watch list. Oh, there it is. Hurricane-related stocks. I started this back before on 7/3. Out of the hurricane stocks, is Generac in here? There it is. Generac is in there. It's up 3.92%. My biggest mover, though, is Aflac, Allstate. My insurance companies are my biggest movers right now. Lowe's. All right, Lowe's is doing better than the Home Depot. A lot of stocks not doing so well, though. My solar panel stock, which I did like. Oil, that Polar stock I did like, but it's getting its butt kicked. Marine products, there's a lot of good stocks in here for hurricane season. It's only up, not even 1% anymore, but the biggest movers are Aflac, Allstate, and Lowe's. All right? So that was kind of cool that you wanted me to look at Generac. It's in that portfolio, and it's up 3.98%. At least it's a winner. All right, let's go back to the viewers. Big news stocks, the stocks that made the news in the beginning. Let's go look at them. I needed to add something. Summit, the drug company, SMMT. Glenn, super chat should go to your choice charity. Prakash, not my choice. I know it goes to the channel, and it goes somewhere in the channel for the YouTube channel. All right, it goes for the YouTube channel. All right, look at this. That drug company, look at that Summit up 65%. Do you want to chase it? I don't want to chase it, but look at that big move. Prior to the big move, though, look at that. Prior to the big move, the stock was sort of kind of going up. Hey, now, negative earnings, but getting better. Let's put it on a one-year graph. Interesting for a bio. This is not half bad. It is overvalued, but look at the graph pattern. Normally, when these kinds of stocks hit, the stock wasn't doing anything. And then, so here's with another news. You know something? I wouldn't mind telling you guys to keep this stock on your radar. Good news drove the stock's price higher, a wick at the top, but nowhere near as big as the body, so it's not a lot of profit taken. It's just some pullback, which makes sense when the stock goes up that much, right? But normally when a stock goes up that much, we get a lot more profit taken. Not in this case. Hey, I want you guys, your Uncle Glenn is telling you to keep this on your radar. Baton Rouge, we are at the center of the cone. Oh, is there you guys have a hurricane or something going on, Janice? Yeah. Is there a hurricane down in y'all's spot? Janice, I look at your last name. I'm sure that you are Cajun, French, something. Just looking at the last name, you got to be Cayenne. Woo-wee! We got us there a storm coming. I think that's might be how you would say it. I say that we got us a storm coming. I don't know. That's my Cajun accent. I don't know how good it was or how bad it was. But I did not know. I'm praying for you guys down there, Janice. I'm always afraid what that could do. There might be a storm coming into Louisiana stuff. Yeah, married to a Cajun boy living in the middle of the... I ain't living in the middle of nobody's woods. I'm just not. There's too much stuff in the woods for me to be living in the... There's too many alligator and stuff. No. I did enough of that in the Marine Corps without having to live out there. And doing the stuff in the Marine Corps makes me know that I'm not living in nobody's woods in the middle. I'm just not doing it. No, not even a log home. No. Sigh. But that you know something? I want you guys to keep Summit on your radars. You got. If you live in the bayou, something like, you got alligators. You just don't see them. It's Francine. It's forming in the Gulf headed north. Francine, gator meat is good eating. I'll eat it, but I'm not living out there with them. All right, so that may not be a bad play being up that much. What else is up? Another drug company turn. And interesting that this stock is way overvalued though. Not fundamentally sound, but the graph tells me something. Let's go look at Turn real quick. That's another drug company. It doesn't look as good as Summit. It is moving. Ooh, it is moving up. Value's moving down as the stock is moving up, and it's overvalued. I'm not feeling this one as much as I like Summit. Nice update on this one as well, but it is overvalued, but value is falling. That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. I mean, I like me some crawfish and shrimp, and I like all that. I just don't want to live where they live. That's not, yeah, and Pennywise is mosquitoes as big as buzzards. I'm not, no, I'm not living in nobody's woods. All right. So if I was looking at either one of these these drug companies with big news, Summit I like. Workhorse, I'm going to look at Workhorse, Tilray, and Palantir. Palantir is now in the S&P 500. That gave them a nice boost today. Let's go on 1 year graph. Oh, that's Workhorse. Ooh, the news. I'm not feeling Workhorse. The news, even though they got the van order, the stock is in a precarious downtrend. I'm not feeling Workhorse. All right, let's go look at Palantir. Woo-wee. Anybody ready to ring the bell on Palantir? New 1 year high. Ding, 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 ding. I'm happy about my Palantir. But you guys know that Uncle Glenn has been talking to you about Palantir over the last year. Love this company. What was my price target on it? I think it was like $32. I think it was. Pennywise, what did Pennywise do? Pennywise says, Gator is great with some... What's tapatio sauce? Is that like pistachio nuts? What's tapatio? No, I'm not living in nobody's woods. Brick and sliding along with Cedar Sky. I'm not, Made a killer. Man, I'm feeling Palantir. New 1 year high. What is tapatio? Is that like tapatio? Pistachios and Tilray, the weed stock. Man, this is just kind of wicked all over the place. This is wicked all over the place. Weed stocks normally move when we've got some deal on legislation. Oh, you know what that's called? It's called the descending triangle. That's bearish. That's bearish. All right, so nice bounce today. I like that, but I'm not feeling it long. That's a descending triangle. That ain't good. That ain't good. All right, so just be careful with that. I grew up near Bengal tires. Why are y'all talking about exotic animals and living in the woods and stuff with mosquitoes alligators and all that stuff. Why? This ain't that kind of room. All right. Let's close out of that. All right. Let me give you some stocks before I start looking at your stocks. Tilray's in a terrible shape. I agree with that, Pennywise. I'm going to give you some fish. MPI one-day cross. Write them down. I'm not going to go through them. I only got 4. They're up nicely today. 1, 2 of them. Let's go to VS there. 2 of them are fundamentally sound. AGX and Celsius. All right. RT is hurting Celsius bad, though. But MPI just crossed. These are more aggressive plays. Write them down. Take a picture, whatever you got to do. MPI Enhanced has to deal with the sort. There's RV times RS and CI. These should be better. Only one stock, AGX again, fundamentally sound. Earnings per share, double digits for 3 of them. Write them down. Write them down. Sundial may be undervalued, Ross, but and we looked at Sundial, didn't we? We did. Where is it? There it is. We did look at Sundial. What did I give you on Sundial? Oh, the channel. All right, the channel. Nice bounce up today. Nice big move. Where did you say Sundial is undervalued? And it is. It's way undervalued. But this channel concerns me. It needs to break out of the channel. Last time it did, it went up for a little bit, but very quickly came back down. When weed stocks move, they move just like that. They're like Shakira's hips. They don't lie. But when they come and they stop, they pull back hard. Each and every time, Ross. They pull back hard each. And look at that. Boom. Boom. Oops. They pull back hard each and every time. If you're going to take a marijuana or weed stock, you take it when you can. You get out of it when you can. All right. Does that make sense, Ross? I do like it's undervalued, but I'm not feeling. Listen, you may have an opportunity. That's where you're going to probably sell half if you get up to that high. All right. Let's go back to the viewers. What else? Contras. Notice on the big update today, Contras are not going to move. And that's fine. That makes absolute sense. All right. This gives me more sense of that the market is moving up today because all the Contras are getting hurt. Customer picks, we're going to get there in a second. I didn't give you any picks today because tonight's video, I have my top 5 weekly picks. You need to watch it because I'm going to add another stock to this portfolio. Top 5 weekly picks. Portfolio is up 4.26% after it got killed because I wasn't paying attention. My fault. But notice that these stocks that I bought on 8/12, even with what the market was doing, these stocks held their own. I'm going to add one more stock to this list tonight from my top 5 weekly picks. Make sure you watch it. That's why I didn't give you any picks today. Live stream portfolio, we've already looked at. I've got no theme stocks for the week. I didn't find anything that I wanted to have as far as a theme for today. All right, weekly customer picks. How many likes did we get? I'm still going to give you 10 stocks regardless. All right, type them in. Yext. Y-E-X-T. That's 1. Do you think the market will continue to go up now? Amir, I think as long as we can get past Friday's candle, the answer to that question is yes. Oracle reports this week, so that's a good stock. Lifeway, Southern Copper, CDMO, Mama. Is that real? Are you trolling me? No, I thought you were trolling me with Mama. I thought you were talking about my mama. I was going to come fight you. You say, I thought Rodney said your mama. I was like, man, Rodney, I'm finna get from behind the screen. You don't want that. RBRK, Palantir, how many stocks is that? We stopped. SO is already in there. How many stocks we have? 10. There's your 10 stocks. I do want to look at ADMA. That stock has been killing it. I gave that as a multi-bagger pick. That's another set of videos I've done. Multi-bagger picks. Let me go back to that real quick. How many of you have made money on any of my multi-bagger picks? Type a 1 in the room. This portfolio is up almost 25%. I probably need to do another video on multi-bagger picks so I can look at that. ADMA is in here twice. This is the second time ADMA is in there. Let's go to trade history. Let's go to percent. Look at that. ADMA was a multi-bagger. We made 133%. We're back in it again. VITL We made 175%. FIHL, 35. I got some stocks that were some losers. But even with all of these losers, this portfolio is up almost 25%. And look at that. These are my unrealized gains right now. ADMA is back in there again. My big winner right now is AGS. I think I might have to do a video tomorrow to add more stocks to my multi-bet. Look at all those people who've made some money on the ones. It wasn't as many ones as I'd like, but that's okay. In regards to multi-bagger picks, maybe I'll do a video tomorrow on and fill this up with a couple of more stocks of multi-bagger picks. You think you'd like that? Yes or no? You think you'd like that? I like that this portfolio is up almost 25%. Maybe we add some more. The last time was 812. 812 was the last time, and each one of those stocks are up. So I think I'm going to add some more. I'll do it tomorrow on tomorrow's video. How about my multi-bagger picks are up 3% today? 3% today. All right. So new subscriber, I love your insights. Thank you. Cocaine in the wood grain. Oh boy. Can I say that? Cocaine in the wood grain. Cocaine got that grain. Okay. I don't know. Listen. Cocaine in the wood grain, I do take it a step further each and every time. I do. That's my personality. That's just my personality. All right. With that, let's go back to the viewers. We got our 10 stocks to look at for today. Sorted by VST. The stock at the top of the list is Lifeway. All right. Sorted all the way down. The stocks with VSTs below one, Rocket Lab, CDMO, and Rubric. But every stock you gave me was up today. You need to sell your stocks that have unrealized gains. I hear that. I'm not getting into that, Amir. That makes my head hurt just thinking about that. It does. That so makes my head hurt. But this ain't the plane. This ain't the place. That's right, Danny. Insane in the membrane. Insane. Okay. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. All right. No, Amir, we're not talking about that here. We're not talking about that here. IoT is a ticker symbol breaking out. I'll look at that as well. IoT. That is Ryan's thing. Ryan likes the Internet of Things. All right. Let's take a look at these real quick. Graph them all. Put these on a 1 year graph first. All right. Lifeway. Did we just start type? I think it's just taking a bit. There it is. Oof. Lifeway is all over the place. Ooh-wee. It did gap up, did not fade the gap. It is undervalued like the rising earnings. This may not be a bad play. I like the relative timing. I like that it went from a sell to a buy. It's moving up. Was that an earnings right there when it popped up? Yep. Was earnings, and it's been going up ever since. It's been going up ever since. I do like this play. Now, I'm going to give you a point where you need to start being concerned. When it gets to this level of resistance of 28.61, you got room. That's where you know the stock is going to have a point where you might want to take some off the table. But nice update today. No wick at the top. RT's rising, earnings rising. I like the play. I like that play, and I cannot lie. Glenn, would you dollar cost average up? No. Why would it? Who does that? Is that a thing? You just buying more shares? Listen, I don't know. Now that before I go jumping off the cliff, do you buy more? Maybe. All right. I'm getting ready to jump off the cliff for no reason. Janice, you were supposed to pull me back. Janice, you were supposed to pull me back. I don't know if I would, do you buy more? You can. That's because now you're throwing good money after good money, not good money after bad money. All right. That's Janice's fault. She was supposed to rein me in. She was supposed to rein me in. All right. Above my pay. Janice says above her pay grade. All right. Let's go to the next stock. Wow. ADMA, a stock that we've bagged on a couple of times. You got to love this stock. It's just a stock that you got to love. Fundamentally, relative value. The relative safety, this is more of an aggressive play where RV is above one, but relative safety is below one. But the stock is killing it. The stock is killing it. It's not much bad I can say about it. Look at that. Gapped up. It gapped up today. Wow, after pulling back, yeah. And as it was falling, I would have given a hard line in the sand right about here. And it never got there. You're good. Next stock. GRBK. Bottom left, top right, undervalued, rising earnings. Pulling down. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. I'm going to give you... Do I want to give this as a hard line? That's too, it could be. That's a swing low before it went up. Price of 65.48. I don't want to give you that much space. All right, little gap right here. Let me find that. There we go. Take this one on. I'll keep that one on. I'm going to give you a closer line in the sand of 71.85. 71.85. That was a little gap down, another gap down, but a good level. I'm going to call it as a good level of current support. 71.85 if you're in it. I do like the rising earnings. I like the RT, the whole 9 yards. It's just pulling back. RT is probably still above 1, which it is. It's just coming off of that level of the high. That's your hard line in your sand right there. Well, if you only bought a few shares to put your toes in the water, yeah, you might end up paying more for the next bunch. And you know something? I guess nobody ever calls it dollar cost averaging up. You just buy more shares. That's not a bad thing. You make sure the stock is doing what you wanted to do, though. IoT, let's put this on a 3-month graph. Let's put this on a 1-year graph. It's moving up. It gapped up after earnings. I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand. That's a beautiful level of support right there. I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand of $42.30. That's my hard line in the sand for you. After earnings, it went up. Nice update today. And that line in the sand will mitigate losses real quick in case it decides to pull back. That will mitigate losses real quick and give you an opportunity to take some profit. All right. And if you say, that's just too close. Well, it's just hitting a new 1-year high. It's just hitting a new 1-year high. It's in uncharted territory. I'd rather you have this level of support as a way to get out rather than, hey, it's going down, but it's going to come back. I'd rather you take that point right there. All right. What's the next stock? Southern Comfort. I like that. That's good liquor right there. Southern it is a utility. RT at 1.32, fundamentally sound. New high, just coming off a new high. Rising earnings. You know, if it is a utility, I want to make sure it pays a dividend, and it does. Okay, there you go. I like that. I like that play. I like that play. All right, I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand to the most recent level of the swing of about 84.81. That's my hard line in the sand for you. It is overvalued, though, but it is definitely moving higher. Next stock. Yext. That's a most recent move. After earnings, oof. You know something? You know what I do like? That after that, it broke through this nice level of resistance and still pulling away. It's got a wick at the top, though. All right, look at the 3-month graph. It's got a wick at the top. Earnings fell a little bit. RT is falling. I'm going to give you a line in the sand sitting at 589. 589. All right. I like that it broke through. I know we got confirmation. We got a new high. It's a 3-month high. Just be careful with it. Put that back on a 6-month graph. That's a beautiful level of support / resistance. I'd use that. I would definitely use that. All right, next one. Palantir. What you got to say about Palantir? What you going to do with all that Palantir? All that Palantir in your trunk. I'm going to make you drunk. My Palantir, my Palantir. I like to play. Bottom left, top right. I don't know where that came from, folks. That had nothing to do with Palantir except for I'm just happy about it. Because I got Palantir. Because I'm happy. I like to play. Nice gap up. Very little wick at the top. You got it like a bottom left, top right. Bottom left, they make some excellent high. Oh, you're talking about the utility company? I'm long Palantir as well. Man, I'm up double digits on it now. Wow. That is gapiosity big. Ooh. That is a tough graph to play. I know they got earnings coming out, but that is a tough graph to play. What price would you buy FNGU? That was a good way for you to sneak another stock in there. Dang it. Akshaya. 3 month. I wouldn't buy it until it broke through this downtrend. Yep. If it's going to move and it ain't doing nothing today, I'm not thinking about getting into FANGU until it breaks through the downtrend. All right? That was a sneaky way for you to get that stock in there, Akshaya. That's all I got to say to that. Janice is going to put you in timeout for doing that. All right. Let's go to the next stock. Yeah. Hey, mama. Food preparation. Relative value, relative safety, both below 1. Yeah, I need this stock to break through that level of resistance. I like that it faded. I need to break. This is back and forth, and it's fundamentally not sound by way of relative value, relative safety. I'm not feeling that. This is another descending triangle. Look at that. That's another descending triangle. I'm not feeling that. Be careful. If you got it, be careful. Negative earnings. You know, earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Relative value, relative safety, both below 1. RT above 1. VST below 1. Be careful with this. If you own it, this is my hard line in the sand to get out about 583. All right. CDMO. You know, overvalued, but look at value is falling. So is the stock's price. Be careful with that. So is Be careful with this. That's all I got to say. I like that it's hitting, you know, a couple of weeks off of a high, but I'm not. Be careful with that. Price action is not feeling, and the same thing with RBRK. Earnings, but look at the move down. I do like earnings is getting less bad. I do like that earnings is getting less bad. Yeah, but just be careful with this. Someone asked me about the Magnificent Seven. Portfolios. Where's my Mag 7? I want to see. What's going up today? Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon. This is the last thing we do before we go. Magnificent Seven stocks. 1 year. Tesla. I own TSLL. Look at that trend line. If it falls below that trend line, I'm out. I jumped it early. If it falls below that trend line, I'm out. If you're looking at a Mag 7 stock, Nvidia, I own it. I'm not even sticking to my own plan. I'm an idiot. I should have gotten out when it went below that level of support. Sigh. Amazon, I like the graph. Bottom left, top right. And it is moving higher. Amazon, as long as it stays above the trend line. Meta is tough too. Look at that falling. It's like Alicia Keys. I think I'm falling out of Meta. All right. I couldn't go any further than that. Wow, Mag 7 stocks are just nothing makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I do own Apple. I own AAPU. I'll give you a hard line in the sand on Apple at 216. I think it's going to run up, though. I think it's going to run up after their announcement. How long that'll hold for is going to be depending on how good the presentation is. But I think it bounces. Oof, in Google. I'm not feeling any of the Magnificent Seven right now. All right. Oh, it began today at 1 o'clock? Oh, it started 4 minutes ago? All right. All right, I got to go because I'm 4 minutes over and Joey's going to complain. He just will. No matter what, he's just going to complain. Let's go put me on my scene. Where's my scene? There it is. All right. So the announcement is underway. I might have to go look at it. Janice says, gotta go hurricane. Hey, be careful, Janice. Praying for you and your husband. Just be careful. Side, you're in the middle of the woods. Just be careful. That's all I gotta say. All right, folks. Have a great day. Thank you, Joey. Thank you so much for the super chat today, man. That was amazing. Amazing. If you were new, consider hitting the subscribe button, hitting the bell icon so you'll be alerted when live streams like this come out. All right. Thank you for that, Mark. I appreciate that. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Praying for all the peeps around the world. Praying for you guys down in the south as a hurricane starts to move towards us. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.